Hey everyone, it's Johnny, your independent Scentsy consultant. Welcome back to my channel. And today we're going to be talking about the Scentsy part of the fragrance feedback, which is a sizable amount, and we will get through it as quick as possible. Some of these I've first sniffed in other videos, so I'm not going to spend hours and hours and hours prattling on about them just to kind of get through them quicker. But there's a healthy array. There's some wintry ones. There's ones that are discontinued. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to get them into a feedback before the holidays, but things got a little crazy, so my apologies. We'll just get through them now. So starting out with Appealing Apple. This is a scent of the month for, I think, a couple months ago. Basically, this is like Johnny Appleseed with a more mellow, like, tea note to it, like maybe an Earl Grey or some sort of tea note that just kind of mellows it down a little so it's not quite juicy pear and apples. It's a lovely scent. It's in my club. It's going to stay there. I love the fresh apple scents juxtaposed with different combinations, and this one's definitely a winner in my book. And it's different enough from Johnny Appleseed, which is more of like a fresh, dewy pear, like burst apple. That one's a little bit more muted, so if you don't necessarily want the whole like brightness, you want a little bit less crazy. Next we have Red Berry and Spruce. This is also in my club. This is a beautiful winter tree scent that is overshadowed by a red berry sort of mixture. And I like tree scents, but I find, especially in the winter months when I love to warm a lot of holiday scents, it becomes a little bit too much. And after a while, I'm just like so sick of pine and fir and balsam and everything else. This is one of those godsend fragrances that gives you that essence of tree and wonderland and forestness, whatever you want to call it. But it is subdued by a bunch of bright red berries, and it is just a divine scent. It's like a fruity, woodsy scent. I love the combination. I think it's well balanced personally. One of my favorites for the holiday season, and it is staying in my club. So there's that one. Next, we have Jeweled Pomegranate. This is another beautiful scent. It's kind of like a more mellow, wintry take on Perfectly Pomegranate or other tart or fruity pomegranate scents. So you have more of that like tree note in the background. There's a little bit of a citrus note. There's a hint of spice, but just a hint. Mostly you get a like a woodsy, rich red pomegranate with a little bit of citrus, and it's divine. It's a softer scent. At least in my experience, it's been a softer performer. It lingers around and you can definitely tell it's there and it lasts, but it's not a smack you in the face sort of scent, no matter how many cubes you put in warmers. And I also appreciate that because sometimes when you're warming and alternating in the holiday season, you want something that is a little bit more muted. You don't want every single scent to be like green Christmas tree, spiced pomander orange in your face, winter mints, and, you know, like, it can get a little overwhelming, especially in the holiday season. So this is a great balance to all of that. It's like a mediator scent. All right. Next, we have Bayberry and Currant. This was released this Scents of the Season this year. And that's what it is. You get Bayberry, you get, it's like a very peppery Bayberry scent, and then you get the currant undertone. And I think for me, while I find this to be a very unique scent, I don't think it's going to stay in my club. I don't not like currant, but it's not one of the scents that I run out of the way to find. And this is for me one of those scents where I can warm it once and get through it and appreciate the uniqueness of the scent, and then I'm good with it. It's not one that I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to have it all the time. Is it a great scent? Yes. Is it strong? Very much so. Is it going to stay in my club? Probably not. Next, we have Spiced Apple Chestnut, also from the Scents of the Season this past year. This is amazing. This is in my club. It's going to stay there forever. I didn't even think so. I have to like look at how many apple scents I have in my club at this point. But you do get a spiced apple, but it's not heavily spiced. You actually get a lot of the juicy freshness of the apple, surprisingly. And then you get a little bit of that hint of chestnut going on, the little bit of the nuttiness, the kind of like balance in there, but it's still apple-centric. So think of almost like an apple with maybe some lightly mulled spices or just a hint of like a, nutmeg or something in there. You might have like a little bit of a fresh almost like a fresh leaf sort of thing. Like if you think of autumn air from Sensationals, it gives me that vibe, but way more apple-y with chestnut. Can't recommend enough. It's in my club. It's going to stay there. And that's that. I got through a bar of Pumpkin Marshmallow. This is also in my club. This is one of the few pumpkin scents that I actually really enjoy and will go and grab for when I want that sort of scent profile, because the sweetness of the marshmallow mellows out the generally like, wah. That's my description of pumpkin scents, apparently. Wah. But that sort of bland, heavy, almost yam squash kind of consistency that you get in your nose, this kind of lightens it without becoming like pumpkin pie or like some other strange combination. So that one is in my club. Next, we have Blue Christmas. This is always a great staple. I almost feel like if Christmas was embodied, or like the citrus, woodsy, pine, whatever, green tree scents were embodied in a more masculine approach, it would be Blue Christmas. Like, it's definitely a traditional sort of Christmas like scent, but the way it's done is executed, in my opinion, flawlessly. And I have smelled many a Christmas day, Christmas morning, Christmas this, Christmas that, de Christmas, whatever. This one to me has always felt like it hits the orange notes that I want. It hits the tree notes that I want. It hits the coziness of being at home and like the whole winter vibe, without being distinctly one of those, where a lot of scents will be like the orange and spice is too heavy, or the tree is too heavy. Again, this is a nice, well-balanced one, but this is on the stronger side as well. So that's staying in my club for the current time. Next, we have Fireside Chats. This is not in my club. This is a very heavy sort of, in my opinion, fire, smoky, it's very sweet. It almost gives me like, now that I'm smelling the empty clamshell, it almost gives me like a barbecue sauce scent to this, which I think is kind of funny. But it's like that smoky, sweet wood barbecue kind of concept. Like, I would eat this as a barbecue sauce. I feel like I've had a barbecue sauce that smells like this. And it's good, but I don't know if I'd want my house to kind of smell like a barbecue. And it is a very heavy feeling scent in the air from what I remember when I warmed it, and I was not particularly impressed with that. Sometimes when you get these campfire or fireplace scents, they can feel heavy, even if it's not any heavier than any other fragrance oil, just because of the sensory that you're getting from it. This one felt particularly heavy in the air, even compared to some like around the campfire or bonfire beach, which just feels really light and airy. All right, next we have Sweet Plum Pastry. Got through a bar of this. This is Lisa Roberry's, like, one of her Ride to Die scents. If you watched her channel, she's amazing. It's a great scent. It's very gourmand. It's very bakery. It's like, you get the plums, you get the crisp bakery, pastry flaking, everything about it. It's very on par. It's very rich, though. And it's one of those ones where I love it. I really do love it, even though I'm not a bakery person. But it's one that I want to enjoy sparingly or once in a while. So it's taken a while for me to get through the full bar. And it's strong. So you don't have to use many cubes to get your desired level of performance. Next, we have Crimson Berry Christmas. This is in my club. I have a couple bricks of this as well. Again, sweet, bright red berry, similar to red berry and spruce, but this time it's intermingled with a cinnamon overtone. And it's a sweet bakery cinnamon, not a spicy red hot cinnamon. So it gives you like that fruity cinnamon, like nice combination without becoming a bakery scent. I'm not a big fan of cinnamon, as I've said millions of times in my videos, I'm sure at this point, but this scent I don't mind with the cinnamon. Again, this is one I don't necessarily need to warm 24/7 all the time, but it is a nice one if I want something a little bit more spice-centric for the holidays. All right, next we have Olaf Warm Hugs. This is in my club. This is vanilla mint meets some sort of like light wood tone. So there's the warmth of like a warm woods note. It's a softer scent, but it's a lighter vanilla. It's almost like borderline floral vanilla to me, rather than like bakery vanilla or something. So it's very light, but it really gives a freshness and a brightness to a room that you necessarily don't want to have a heavy scent in. Great for bathrooms, bedrooms, you know, or even a living space. I mean, again, it's just a lighter scent, but we don't always need to be smacked in the face with scents. And even myself, who loves being like, you know, swimming in fragrance, sometimes needs a little bit of like a just calm day. So, you know, that's what that one is. Next is Cookies for Santa. This is basically a sugar cookie scent, but instead of regular sugar, they're using brown sugar. Some people think it smells like moldy, you know, whatever, or sour milk, or whatever else. And I'm not gonna lie, the first year that I warmed this, and I was like, ugh. And then I was like, I'm gonna try it again. Why not? And I actually don't mind it as much. I feel like the more that I've appreciated the brown sugar variant on this compared to many of the other bakery scents that use the traditional like sugary sweet table sugar kind of fragrance, I actually appreciate that this one's different. It's maybe not my favorite scent, but it's unique, and so for now it's gonna be in my club for a little bit. But I may change it up and pull it out when I do my big purge again. Just to kind of pull out things that don't, as Marie Kondo would say, spark joy as much as others. All right, next we have DC Justice League. This is basically a cologne body wash scent. It smells nice. It smells like Axe body spray, one of the many ones that they had. Nice scent. There's probably bergamot in here if I remember. Sort of aquatic. It's a manly cologne scent. It's very nice, but I don't think it's particularly unique. And I think that's my biggest gripe with it. Like there's nothing in it that particularly screams unique to me. So I may get another bar of this at some point if I can procure one to double check, but I was pretty good with the first bar, and that's it. Next we have Black Forest Pine. This was a December scent of the month. And this is like a smoked vanilla meets forest pine scent. That's really what it is at its core. There's a lot of other notes to it, but it's like a smoked vanilla scent meets black forest pine or black pine. It's a nice scent. At first I was like really intrigued with it and I enjoyed it, but then I warmed it again a couple more times and I was just like, you know, it's all right. But I'm, again, very picky on my green tree scents, which is strange being someone who loves woods scents. Green tree woods scents tend to be like one of my hyper picky areas. So if it's not just right, I'm just kind of like, meh. So is it all right? Yes. Am I going to keep it in my club? Probably going to be purged out. So moving on, next is Slay All Day. I actually had this in my club and I pulled it out. Do I regret pulling it out? No. I think it's a great scent. I would love to see it come back in a catalog. Would I buy it again? Yes, 100%. But it competes in the category of like fresh and sort of like wintry fresh with several other scents that I feel like do the job either better or differently in a way that I prefer. And so because of that, it got the chopping block. It wasn't so much that I didn't like the scent or it wasn't a great scent, but it's like, think of like apple scents. How many different apple scents do you really want until you get like, okay, well, which apple scents do we really love and which one are just like, I like it because it's an apple scent. So this is like fresh mountain air, crisp, you know, breeze, wintry, whatever. Some mint in here, I'm sure. It's nice. Very nice, fresh, clean scent. Fresh, crisp air scent for the winter time. I warmed through actually 2 bars of it. I enjoyed it. I find that I like it more after it's been warming for a few hours rather than on onset. But again, at the end of the day, it faced some steep competition in my club, so it got the axe from me. Next we have Mighty Pine. This is from our Holiday 3-pack, I think. And it's a nice pine scent. I mean, I'm not a huge pine person, to be honest with you, but I really enjoyed this one. I think this is probably one of my favorite pine scents Scentsy has actually created. And it doesn't really have a whole lot of extra things. It's not trying to be a bunch of things. It's just like a really solid pine scent. That being said, pine scents as a whole, take it or leave it with me. So although I enjoyed that particular one, And I had it in my club for a little while. I did end up pulling it out because I was like, you know, it's nice, but like, if I had to pick Mighty Pine versus Red Berry and Spruce, there's no competition on any day of the week. So that's what I urge you to do if you're struggling with consolidating your Scentsy club, or if it's gotten out of control. Think about how many similar scents that you have in there that you like, and then kind of put them all together in like a lump, or write them in a piece of paper or something and be like, okay, these are all the ones that are all apple, or all pine or tree, or all bakery, or whatever it is, and see which ones you're like, oh my god, first, and then as you deprioritize from your favorite to the least favorite, maybe you can pair a couple of those away. You know, it's not like, you know, you have to have every single scent in the world. If we could, it would be great, but, you know. Anyways, moving on. I'm still over it. This is still in my club. This one is one of the ones that knocked Slay All Day out of the way. Because it has a little bit more of a nod towards Polar Bear Hug, Eskimo Kisses, is what it used to be called. It's got like that fruity undertone to it, in addition to the freshness and the woodsy tree notes and everything else like that. So, this is still in my club, but if I had to pick between this and Eskimo Kisses, Polar Bear Hug, whatever it's called now, I don't even care anymore, that one would take precedent over this one. So again, it's prioritizing, right? Because at the end of the day, otherwise your club will have like millions of bars. Actually, I don't even think we have that many bars in the entire vault, but lots of bars that you may or may not love as much as you think you love. All right, next is Very Snowy Spruce. Very Snowy Spruce. Let's say that 3 times fast. And that's what it is. Cedar, spruce, and something else in here. Balsam, I want to say. Anyways, it's a great scent. It's a strong scent. I've decided this year that I don't like it as much as I thought I did. It's okay. But again, there are other combination tree scents. I keep going back and saying red berry and spruce because I really recommend you put it in your club, or at least buy a bar to try. It's so good before it's gone at the end of this month. Red berry and spruce would knock this out of the park. So, you know, but that's a great solid tree scent if you like more woodsy trees as opposed to like pine needles, evergreen sort of trees. That focuses more on the wood side. All right, icicles and evergreen. This was I think November, one of the scents of the months recently. And it has like apples and icy something or another and evergreen. And when I first got it, I was really wild about it because of the apple note in it. And now I'm over the scent, like excessively over the scent, because the initial warming of it is like, all right, that's not bad. And then like the longer that it lasts, the less I like it, and the more it starts making me not necessarily nauseous or queasy, but I really don't like the scent. So there's like a weird burnt note to this. I'm not as big on that weird icy powdery scent as I thought I would be. And that's okay. Scents change to us too. Sometimes we think we love something and then we warm it again and we're like, what were we thinking? This was kind of one of those. So I have given away a few of those bars to friends and family just to be like, hey, why don't you try this one? I thought it was good, but I think you might like it better. You know, money's already spent. It's okay. You just gotta, you know, give the gift. And who knows, maybe that'll start them interested in smelling other scents. Okay, moving on. Rum Raisin Cookie. This is an old scent. It smells like a rum raisin cookie. There's not much else to say about it. It performs pretty well. I am not like a heavy cookies bakery person, but this does live up to its name. You do get the rum sort of note to this. It's not heavily boozy per se, but you do get the scent of rum. You do get a raisin cinnamon sort of note. It's almost like an oatmeal cinnamon raisin cookie with rum in it. And it works. It's nice. I would eat it if it were a real cookie. It's not in my club. I don't think I'd ever put it in my club, but it's a good scent. Aussie Plum is next. This is from our Bring Back My Bar club exclusive set of them. It's a great scent. It's strong. It's this bright, aquatic, grapefruit, plum sort of scent. Very fresh, very crisp, little bite to it. I am so torn as to whether or not I want to put this in my club or just grab a bar or two to hold on to. It's a great scent, but I don't necessarily know that I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to have this all the time. And To be fair, it competes with other plum scents that I currently have in my club. So, is it going to be in there temporarily? Yes. Is it going to stay there long term? Most likely not. But I'm glad that I got to rewarm it. Speaking of other things, I got the chopping block from my club recently, Christmas Cactus. This didn't actually return this fall, winter. And I will say, it is a very unique scent. It's like Christmas tree meets agave and desert and citrus. And it's quite different and quite fresh. And it's a unique scent, but it's almost a love or hate scent for a lot of people. I loved it initially. And this time around, I won't say that I loved it. I certainly didn't hate it. But it lost a little bit of its luster to me relative to other things that I've smelled over the year that I've enjoyed more. So, for me, I decided that while I like it, it was not something I needed to have. So, it's no longer in my club, but I enjoyed warming through it. Next, we have Ghostly Greetings. This is an old scent. I believe this is like plum and sandalwood, if I remember correctly. Just speaking of plum scents. This is in my club. It'll forever stay in my club. I have extra bricks of it. I love this scent so much. It is such a masculine sandalwood plummy scent. And it is not super powerhouse smack you in the face, but it's definitely there. You'll definitely notice it. You can definitely tell. All that sort of stuff. So, great scent. And in my club it stays. Bo Ho 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 Merry Christmas is leaving my club. As much as I enjoy this scent, it's a floral, musky, sort of spicy, very bohemian scent. Ha ha ha. Shocking. It's nice. It's strong. It lasts really well. It's just nice. That's the problem for me. It's not like, oh my goodness, I need it. And when I already have such a full, wide Scentsy Club array, things have to have a reason beyond just being nice to be in the club. So, I'm being a ruthless purge this January. But it's a beautiful scent. If you get a chance to get it before end of the month, pick up a bar, try it. It's unique. And, you know, we don't usually have scents that are quite that unique anymore. Or at least not, I shouldn't say anymore, just not as commonly. All right, next we have Haunted Mansion. I didn't finish it. That's okay. It smells like a musty old bookstore with a little bit more cinnamon in it than I would prefer. It started out fine, and then when the cinnamon started attacking my nose, I was just like, you know, I'm good. So, is it a good scent? Yes. Is it fairly reminiscent of like the musty scent of like an old ride or the Haunted Mansion vibes? 100%. Definitely takes me and transports me to Disneyland. But I'm not like in love with the scent. So, it's not going to be in my club. Next, we have Cranberry Garland. Beautiful cranberry scent. Very woodsy based. Like the Cranberry Garland versus just cranberries. I love this scent. It's a nice woodsy scent. And of the cranberry scents we have, I feel like it actually does perform pretty well. Like, I adore Snow-Kissed Cranberry. I think it's the most beautiful scent. But it performs so abysmally. It's like, you smell it and then it's gone. And you're like, what happened? Like, I just put it in. Same thing goes with, like, the car bar variant of it. I remember I put it in my car. My car smelled like full-on Snow-Kissed Cranberry. And I was like, oh my gosh. And then I left my car and did something and came back from errands. And I was like, what happened? It's, like, lingering, just barely. It's a beautiful scent that futzed out. So that may end up finally getting the axe from my club, as much as it pains me, because I can't justify giving it a spot over something like Cranberry Garland, which actually will perform for the majority of the day. And while it might not have the effervescence and, you know, the combination that Snow-Kissed Cranberry really brings to the table, it actually lasts. So there's that. That is Cranberry Garland. Next, we have Disney Season of Magic. This is the Disney licensed exclusive winter bar that we had for Christmas time. And this is a unique one. This is like a sweet meets tree, meets slightly like berry floral. It's a very interesting scent. It's hard to like, I mean, I don't have the scent notes, that would probably help, but you get almost like a sugary woods sort of vibe. Like, think of what Plum and White Woods was. but more mellow, a little bit less romantic and plummy and jam, and more of like a sweet winter Christmas. Almost like dusted with like a sugar plum sort of note. It's a great scent. I have not decided what I feel about this in terms of keeping it, but I did enjoy warming in it. It's very different, and it's a pretty solid performer. Sometimes our Disney licensed stuff tend to be a little bit lighter. It's not always the case. Like Star Wars series is like scent monsters. The Aladdin collection was a scent monster throw. You know, like some of them do perform well, but generally the Disney ones tend to be a little bit more light. They've been stepping up their game lately with the licensed ones. They all seem to throw much better than they used to, or what I remember them to. So, anyways, that's Season of Magic. Let me know what you think on that one. Silver Bells is the next. This is from some, I don't know. I bought a bunch of these from someone who was destashing because I just loved Silver Bells that much. And oh my goodness, I still love this scent. I don't think I'll ever get tired of this scent. I could have this scent. This could be like one of my top 5 fragrances for the rest of eternity, and I'd be fine with that. I have so many bars of this. It's still in my club. It's not leaving my club just because I have a hoard of bars. That's how much I love this scent. So, when you are struggling with picking like scents for your Scentsy club, I encourage you to think about ones that will do that. You know, there's always a lot of scents that we like or enjoy, but there's, you know, those ones like, for me, Silver Bells, where I'm just like, oh my god. And then you can kind of see the difference between what might be truly club worthy to you versus, oh, it's just nice. All right, moving on. This is not a Scentsy Club video. Wassil Wonderland. Orange and spices. It's not quite as heavy as like spiced orange pomander. It's more of a mellow orange. It's orange and spices. To me, a lot of them smell the same. Some are more sweet, some are more spicy, some are less sweet. At the end of the day, they're all kind of the same to me, and yeah, that's all I gotta say about that one. It's not going in my club. It's just like I'm done with the orange and spice thing. Come up with something new. Disney's Adventures Out There from Up. This is like a lush, dewy, tropical greens. Think of like Rainfall and Lush Greens. It's similar to that. Sort of like a spa kind of scent. It's light. It's beautiful. But I feel like we have a couple different ones that we've had in different times that have come back with this similar sort of scent profile. Mineral Oasis, Rainfall and Lush Greens. Now we have this one. I mean, is it particularly unique? No. Is it a great scent? Yes. Is it club worthy? Maybe. It's also not like a monster powerhouse. It's there, but it's not gonna smack you in the face. Last two, actually just 3, I lied. We have Just For You. This is basically blackberries and fir tree. And it's very similar to the fir something or another and plum from Better Homes and Gardens, which has more plum in it than, because this one doesn't have plum in it. Same idea. Fruity, more than just tree. It's like that combo seems to work really well for me. So that one's in my club. Next, we have Sun-Ripened Berry. This is the January, my birth month, scent of the month. And at first I was kind of mad about this. I was like, why does it have to be a berry scent? Why couldn't it be like a woodsy scent or something fresh or whatever? And then it had rhubarb in it. And then I shut my mouth. Because on cold, I was kind of like, eh. But then every time I've warmed it, I've been like pleasantly surprised. And I'm not usually like a sweet berry sort of person. But that rhubarb in here, man, it makes me happy. So this is in my club. Surprisingly. Shocking, I know. But it is a great scent and it lasts. It's a really good performer. Like, it lasts through the day. Again, berry scents, fruity scents don't always do that. That one definitely does. And lastly, but not least, we have The Villain's Dark and Devious. This is like absinthe and anise and something else and whatever, and everything spooky, double, toil and trouble, or cauldron, whatever. Anyways, think of this as like a 20s, 30s, 40s speakeasy vibe, maybe even 50s. It's that sort of dark, mysterious, enigmatic, slightly medicinal, herbal undertones. You know, you're at like this sort of nod back to a different time era of like bars and, you know, that sort of glam vibe, like not quite smoke room because there's no smoke or notes of like that in there, but it's that sort of deep, slight hint of musty, air of mystery, depth to it, that you'd get in like a speakeasy or something. And I really, really enjoy this one. So that one's in my club. And that brings us to the end of the Scentsy Empties for this round. Whew, I have one more feedback of just random odds and ends. We'll probably whip through that in the next video. Not gonna spend too much time on it. And then we have new stuff to start talking about very soon. So stay tuned. Hopefully this was helpful. Let me know if you've tried any of these or if you have any thoughts that might be the same or different than mine. And if you're new here, consider subscribing, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye.